The morning sun glared off the polished hoods of luxury cars as Ryan Cooper pulled into the dealership parking lot in his old, beaten-up Ford Ranger. The engine sputtered and coughed before finally dying with a wheeze. He sighed, patting the cracked steering wheel like an old friend. "Hang in there, buddy," he murmured. "Just one more week." Ryan had spent the last few months trying to rebuild his life after serving 15 years in the military. Delta Force, his call sign, Ghost 2, still echoed in his mind sometimes, especially on quiet nights when sleep refused to come. He was a single dad now, raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, after his wife had passed away from cancer. Life wasn't easy, but he refused to let despair win. Today, he was at the Harrison Auto Group, the biggest car dealership in the city. He'd been saving every penny from his new job as a warehouse supervisor, trying to trade in his old truck for something safer to drive Lily to school. Ryan stepped out, dusting off his jeans and tucking in his worn jacket. He walked inside, instantly greeted by the sharp smell of new leather and car polish. Salespeople moved like hawks, scanning for easy prey. A man in a tailored navy suit, mid-40s, slick hair, and an artificial smile, strode toward him. The golden badge on his chest read, "Mark Denning, General Manager." "Good morning, sir. Looking to buy today?" Mark's tone was overly polite, the kind reserved for customers who looked like they could afford something. "Possibly trade in," Ryan said. "Got an old Ranger outside. Hoping to find something pre-owned, reliable. I've got a daughter, need something safe." Mark's smile faltered slightly as he glanced through the window, spotting the rusted truck. He forced a chuckle. "Ah, I see. Well, we do have some budget options. Follow me." Ryan followed him across the shining floor, passing rows of cars worth more than he'd earned in a year. Mark stopped in front of a modest sedan and began his sales pitch, words rolling off his tongue like a practiced actor. Ryan nodded, running a hand along the car door. "Looks good. What's the financing like?" Mark's expression shifted, scanning Ryan's jacket and worn shoes. "Do you, have a current job? Or are you, between things?" "I work full-time," Ryan replied calmly. "Warehouse supervisor at Coastal Logistics. I also have a veteran's benefit that could help with the down payment." At that word, veteran, Mark's polite mask cracked. He gave a little snort, as if amused. "Right, of course. Well, we'll need to run a full credit check. Do you have all your documents?" Ryan nodded and handed him the folder he'd brought. Mark took it, flipping through the papers with exaggerated slowness. Then he smirked. Credit's not great. Understandable, I guess. Hard to keep up payments when you're serving." The way he said it was almost mocking. "But unfortunately, we don't have anything in your range. Our vehicles are top quality. You might want to check some used lots across town." Ryan kept his cool. "You haven't even looked at the trade-in value." Mark sighed. "Sir, that truck outside. Scrap metal's worth more." Ryan's jaw tightened. He'd been disrespected before, but this was different. He wasn't here for charity, he was here to make a deal. "Just give me the estimate. I'm not asking for special treatment." Mark's smile vanished completely. "Look, we don't have time to appraise junkers from people who can't afford our vehicles. I have serious customers waiting." He gestured toward the door. "You can leave now." For a moment, Ryan just stood there, staring at him. Then he nodded slowly. "You're making a mistake." Mark chuckled under his breath. "The only mistake would be wasting more time on someone like you." Ryan turned and walked out, keeping his composure until he reached his truck. He sat inside for a long moment, breathing deeply. He thought about Lily's face when she'd said, "Daddy, our truck sounds sick." She deserved better. He started the engine, ready to leave, when a familiar voice called out from behind. "Hey, buddy, having trouble?" Ryan looked in the rearview mirror. An older man, gray hair, wearing a casual blazer, was walking toward him with a friendly smile. "Not really," Ryan said, getting out. "Just got kicked out by your manager." The man raised an eyebrow. "Kicked out? By who?" "Mark Denning," Ryan said flatly. "Said my truck's junk and my money's not good enough." The man's smile vanished. He extended a hand. "Name's Walter Harrison. I own this place." Ryan froze. "You're the owner?" Walter nodded. "And you are?" "Ryan Cooper." For a second, Walter's eyes widened. His hand trembled slightly before he composed himself. "Did you serve in the military?" Ryan nodded slowly. Yes, sir. Delta Force. Why? Walter's expression softened, emotion flickering across his face. You saved my life. Ryan blinked. What? Walter laughed quietly, disbelief in his voice. Kandahar. 2010. Our convoy got ambushed. I was a journalist covering reconstruction projects. I remember a soldier pulling me out of a burning vehicle, called Sign Ghost 2. That was you, wasn't it? Ryan stared at him, memory flooding back, the chaos, the flames, the terrified civilian he dragged through the smoke. You were that journalist. Walter nodded, tears welling up. I never forgot your face. I thought you died when the Humvee exploded. Ryan smiled faintly. Close enough. Walter clapped a hand on his shoulder. Come inside, please. When they entered the showroom, Mark was talking to another customer. He froze mid-sentence when he saw Walter and Ryan together. Mr. Harrison, I didn't know you were in today. Clearly, Walter interrupted sharply. His voice carried authority now, echoing through the room. Is it true you kicked this man out? Mark stammered. Well, sir, he didn't look like a serious buyer, and his vehicle. Enough. Walter's tone was ice. That man risked his life for me 15 years ago. Without him, I wouldn't be standing here. And you, he jabbed a finger toward Mark, just insulted a hero. The entire showroom fell silent. Salespeople pretended to busy themselves, but all ears were turned toward the confrontation. Mark's face turned pale. Sir, I didn't know. That's the problem, Walter said. You judged him without knowing. You saw a jacket and an old truck, not the man who saved lives. He turned to Ryan. Mr. Cooper, you pick any vehicle on this lot. It's yours. No payment, no strings. Ryan shook his head. I appreciate it, but I can't accept that. Walter smiled faintly. Then at least let me give you what you came for, a fair deal. And a job offer, if you're interested. Mark gaped. A job. Here. Walter turned to him sharply. Effective immediately, you're suspended. And maybe while you're gone, you can learn what respect means. Mark opened his mouth to argue, but Walter's glare silenced him. He grabbed his things and walked out, humiliated, as whispers followed him. Walter guided Ryan toward his office. I could use someone like you, disciplined, reliable, knows what loyalty means. How about managing our vehicle logistics department? Full benefits, flexible hours for your daughter. Ryan hesitated. You don't even know if I can do it. Walter smiled. You pulled me out of a war zone, son. I trust you can handle a car lot. They both laughed, the tension easing. By the end of the meeting, Ryan had signed papers not only for a job but also for a gently used SUV, at a price far below market value. Walter insisted. When Ryan pulled up to Lily's school later that day, the sun was dipping low, painting the sky in gold and orange. Lily ran toward him, her pigtails bouncing. Daddy, you got a new car. Ryan knelt, hugging her tight. Yeah, sweetheart. Safer for you now. She looked up at him with a toothy grin. You're the best daddy ever. That night, as Ryan tucked her into bed, she whispered, Mom would be proud, huh? His throat tightened. Yeah, baby. I think she would. The next morning, Ryan walked into the dealership as its newest employee. The same salespeople who had ignored him yesterday now greeted him respectfully. Word had spread about what had happened, the veteran who had saved the owner's life, the manager who had been fired for his arrogance. Walter met him in the hallway. Ready for your first day? Ryan nodded. Born ready. Over the weeks that followed, the dealership began to change. Walter used the incident as a lesson, implementing a new training program about respect and humility. Ryan led many of those sessions, sharing quiet, powerful stories about his experiences, not to brag, but to remind everyone that dignity costs nothing. One afternoon, a nervous young mechanic approached him in the lot. Mr. Cooper, I just wanted to say, I used to judge people the way Denning did. I won't anymore. Thanks for that. Ryan smiled. That's all that matters. Months later, business at the Harrison Auto Group boomed, not because of flashy ads or discounts, but because of reputation. Customers talked about how the place treated everyone like family. And at the center of it all was Ryan Cooper, the single dad veteran who had once been kicked out of that same dealership. Every morning, he parked his SUV beside the showroom, glanced up at the flag waving above, and whispered a quiet thank you, To fate, to the man he'd once saved, and to the life he was finally rebuilding. And sometimes, when the wind was just right, he could almost hear a voice from the past saying, "Ghost 2, mission accomplished." He'd smile then, watching Lily wave at him through the window of his office, and think, yeah, maybe it finally was.